Data structures are structures which can hold some data together. In other words, they are used to store a collection of related data. These are the main data types in Python: list, tuple, dictionary, set. In the coming videos, we will be looking on to each of them and understands various operations that can be done in these data structures. List is one-dimensional mutable ordered sequence of mixed data types. Here mutable means that its contents and values can be changed or modified. The list of items should be enclosed in square brackets. Here is the example on how to create a list. As we are seeing here, in this list, there are multiple data types like integers, float, string and boolean values. You can check the type of object using type function and you can see that it shows list. It's time to understand much deeper about list. There are various operations that can be done using list. In this video we will start from creating a sample list, and let's try to understand various operations in list. Let's create 4 elements with different data types. Let's view the list contents. So in Jupyter Notebook you can either use the print command, or you can run the list variable directly to see the elements in the list. Here you can see the output, which is enclosed in square brackets. You can use the append function to add an element to the list. You should note that the value will be added at the end of the list. Here you can see that chess is added to the end of the list. Similarly, you can add new values to your list. Now let's see how to remove any particular element from the list. For that we use the command remove. Use remove function and point out the particular element that should be removed from our list. In the example list you can see that the name Tom has been removed, and rest of the item is printed in the list. Now let's understand pop function. Pop is an inbuilt function in Python that removes and returns last value from the list, or the given index value. Here we use the pop function to our list and we specified the index as 1. So that the value at index 1 is removed from the list, and printed as the output. If you try to run the example list again you will not find the value 27.66. One main thing you have to understand is that index starts from 0. We have 541 at index 0 and 27.66 as index 1 and so on. We can also add values to particular index. For that we use insert command, and here we inserted the word correct at index 2. So let's check whether the value is updated or not. For that we just created a new cell. Run the example list again and can see that it's been inserted at index 2. We can also access elements from the list directly by using their particular index. We can even use negative index to access elements. While using negative index, you should understand that the elements are accessed from the right side of the list and the index starts from -1, -2 and so on. At last we can see how to slice elements from our list. To slice a list, the indices of first element and the element immediately after the last element must be specified. In the example, we slice the list from index 1 followed by colon and 3. We know that these are the three values that comes in our specified indices. But we have to understand that Python will slice only up to the element which is one less than our last specified index. That means Python will print only true and correct elements from our example list. Hope you guys got a correct understanding about list and various operations that can be made in our list. Tuple is one-dimensional immutable ordered sequence of mixed data types. Here immutable means that its contents and values cannot be changed or modified. The items in tuple should enclosed in round brackets. This is the example of creating a simple tuple. As we seen before in the list, there are multiple data types like integers, float, string and boolean values. You can check the type of object using type function, and you can see that it shows the output as tuple. We can create tuple object using round brackets. Here we are creating the tuple with different data types enclosed in round brackets. Let's see the tuple objects. So the output is printed with our given elements. Now let's see the different operations that can be made in tuple. As seen from the list, we can access elements from tuple using index values. Here we are going to access the element from index 2. We know that the element present at this index is 7.66. So just run the program and you can see the same output. We already said that tuple is immutable so that we cannot change or modify values from tuples. Let's understand by doing it on Jupyter Notebook. Now I am going to insert a new element at index 2, as we done in the list. Oops, we can see an error in the program. So it's written as tuple object has no attribute insert. This means that we cannot insert or modify any elements in tuple. You can even use append function and check whether append operation will work or not. We can slice the elements from the list with index values. Here I gave the index 1 colon 2. As we know already, the output is printed as world. If we change the index values, you can see the difference in sliced elements. Hope you understood about tuple, and now let's move on to next data structure, dictionary. Dictionary is an unordered collection of items. Each item in dictionary has a key value pair. That is, it stores a mapping between set of keys and set of values. In Python, dictionaries are written with curly brackets, and they have keys and values. In this example, you will understand how to create a dictionary in Python. Here, we use curly brackets to represent dictionary, and we give the key as name and provide the value as IQUELAB. And again the next key is year and the value is 2020. The type of the data is seen as dictionary, and is represented as dict. As we already know, dictionary is an unordered collection of items. Each item in dictionary has key value pair. Now let's create our first dictionary in Jupyter Notebook. Here I am creating the dictionary named as example dict, and the values should be entered in curly braces. So my first key is mail and it's written in quotes, and I am giving value to that key as xyz@gmail.com. Again I am creating one more key names as year, R, and the value is 2020. Now let's run this. Let's print the dictionary we made and see its elements. Here is our output. Now let's understand it much detailed. To view the keys in our dictionary, use key function. Here you can see that example dict.keys provides the output with all the keys from our created dictionary. In the same way you can view the values by using value function. Here again you can see the values in the created dictionary. We can access elements value by calling the keys. Let's see how that works. Now I am writing the code as example dict in square brackets giving the key as mail. Now our output is printed as xyz@gmail.com, which was our value to that key. Similarly, value of year is printed in next cell. In many cases, modifying the dictionary is important. The values may change from time to time, or the data should be changed or modified. So in order to modify the values we use update function. Here I just modified the year value to 2021. It's clearly seen from the output that the value is modified from 2020 to 2021. Now let's see how to delete values from dictionary. For that we use del function. Here mail is deleted from our dictionary. When I print example dict again, it's clear that the id mail has been removed from our dictionary. Hope you understood about the concept of dictionary. Now we can move on to our last data structure set. Now let's move on to our last data structure. A set is an unordered collection of items. Every set element is unique, which means that no duplicate can be made, and must be immutable. Sets can also be used to perform mathematical set operations like union, intersection, symmetric difference, etc. In this example, a set is created by placing all the items inside curly braces, separated by comma, and by using the built-in set function. The type is shown as set. Now let's move on to the video. Let's create our first set. Here I am giving its name as set1. We can create set in two ways. Let's see the first method. You can use set function to create a set like in the example. Now let's view the set elements. These are the elements present in our set. Now we can create the second set named as set2. Here I am not using the set function, instead of that I am listing all the elements within curly brackets. You can view the object type here and it shows as set. We can work with various set operations like in mathematics. Let's see how. So I am just copying both the set to a single cell to make it much clearer. Now let's try the OR operation, which is the union operation in the set, which is named as union set. When we run union set, we get the combined values from both set. Note that duplication is not made in the set. If some common elements are present in both set, it will combine them and print as a single element in our union set. Now let's use the AND operation, which is the intersection operation in our set. Here we named it as intersection set, and after running the code, you can see the common elements present in both sets. You can use set operations in strings also. Here for the sake, I just took the numbers, but you can try it using different characters.